Hey y'all, it's Jessie with Army Wife Knitting Life Podcast. Today is Vlogmas Day 10. So excited. So we are 15 days away from Christmas. I spent today finalizing an itinerary of what's going to happen when my friend Colby and his boyfriend Vincent come to visit, because Vincent's he's never left the States before. So I know for sure we are going to Prague, and I know that we are going to go to Munich, so that we can all go visit Dachau, which is one of the concentration camps. Colby has been to one in Austria before. However, the rest of us have never been, and so we are getting prepared for a very somber, very humbling experience. And World War II is a time in history that it's always fascinated me. I've always been very interested in learning. I've been to the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam. I've been to different Holocaust memorials in Paris, one in Amsterdam. I've been to the one in Berlin, and I've been to some of the exhibits that are hosted in the States as well. It's something that it was a very terrible time in history, and not just for Germany, but for the world, because so many countries pretended it didn't happen. In fact, I remember reading, I don't remember what town it was specifically, I think it might have been Munich, and they claimed that they didn't know what was happening, that they had a concentration camp in their town, and so the U.S. soldiers, when we got there, made them march through so that they could see the damage that their people had caused, and saying there's no way that you didn't know. You can smell it in the air, you can see it in the smoke. And Germany has tried very hard to make amends for its past, and they're very progressive now. They make sure they don't hide what happened. They're very open about talking about it, but it's still a very sensitive subject here. And so, I can't go out and just ask a German about what happened, what was their perspective. I can't go around for people that are super strict and go, you're so much like Hitler, or you can't make jokes about it. And of course, I don't know anybody that would, but some people will say you're such a grammar Nazi. You can't say that here. You will get in so much trouble. You can get a €1,000 fine, and you can end up in jail for a few days. So probably not a good idea to joke around about it, but we're all very much looking forward to going and experiencing this for ourselves. It's a piece of history that we've always had an interest in, so we think it's a great way to be immersed in the history. It gives you a better understanding. I remember when I came out of the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam, I was still 16. I was with my grandparents, my babcia and my tata, and it was a birthday gift. It's something that they did with all of the grandchildren. Typically as they turned 16, they would get to pick a country and go. Well, I think I've said this in a podcast before, but my sister was due to have my nephew when I was turning 16, and actually he was born 3 days after my birthday. So I went the next year, and it was also postponed because I thought I was going to go to China with my high school for 2 weeks, and that was going to take the place of my grandparents' trip. But I ended up in the ER on about 2 hours before my plane took off, and I didn't get discharged until about 3 hours after the plane had left Kansas. So I went, and my babcia stayed outside because her health was starting to go down, and she didn't think that she could make the climb up the stairs. And so just my tata went with me, and I came out with just tears pouring down my face. I remember there is an exhibit. There's a little part, it's outside of the house, but before the gift shop. They have this little archive, and it's got copies of the book in all the different languages for her diary. It's got pictures, it's got artifacts, things that have survived. And there's a little spot in the back there that's got 2 or 3 computer devices. And you can record videos and send them, email them to yourself, to your friends, family, however many people you want. You just have to kind of keep the video under 2 or 3 minutes, I think. And I sent it to my best friend at the time. Well, one of my best friends at the time. The other one was, she was actually waiting in California for me to get back, so I was saving everything there for her. But the other friend was in Kansas, and I had her email, and I sent it to her because A, she didn't know I was there safely yet, and because like we got off the plane at Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam and we went straight to the Anne Frank house, and I had tears pouring down my face, and I said, I can't imagine living in this area for a day, let alone months or years. It blew my mind. And so we're all going to go to that at some point, and they're also going to Slovakia for a few days, but they're doing that on their own because they're going to go visit one of our mutual friends. But I figured I would let them have the time since I can go see her a little easier than they can. So they're going to go see Zuzka without me, and that's okay. I told them to. So anyways, I finished all of that today. I watched Charlie Brown Christmas, which is one of my favorites, and it's where we pulled the tradition of reading the Christmas story from the Bible every Christmas Eve for my family. So it always gets me in the spirit to hear it. And then we also did some major cleaning. So we pulled out everything from the garage because it was used for storage, but the snow is starting to get really bad now. So we pulled everything out of storage so we could put the car in. So we had to go through everything that was in there today. Hence the gross hair and the old sweater. This is store-bought, by the way, from Lane Bryant. I did not make this sweater. It's seed stitch. It would drive me nuts to make a sweater this size and only do seed stitch. I'd prefer stockinette. So that is what I have for Christmas stuff and just day-to-day stuff. I only worked on one sock today since, as I said, I spent most of my day planning or cleaning. So I had finished the sock from Arkansas Yarn Co. yesterday. So I cast on its mate because I am definitely feeling the time crunch, because 12 days of cast-ons starts in 2 days, and I have 4 socks on the needles, and I still need to get second socks for 3 of them. So those are going to be getting interspersed with the 12 days of cast-ons so that I can get them finished, because I want to have fun Christmas socks to wear, and I just want warm socks too, because it's really cold. Our high today was -2 Celsius, which for anybody that doesn't know Celsius, 0 is freezing for Celsius, which is 32 Fahrenheit. So it was below freezing. It was very cold. And we had to go out in the snow back and forth because the garages are detached. So it wasn't fun. Anyways, that's all I have for knitting, but I am going to be back at it again tomorrow, hoping to get this one sock done and get some more progress, because the other 3 socks are all they're all in the same place. They're getting pretty close to the heel, like add 10 rows and you'll be at the heel. So my goal is to finish that Arkansas Yarn Co. sock tomorrow and get at least one other sock to the heel, if not through the heel. So goals are important. You can check off, I love to-do lists because you can check off what you've done. Makes me feel so accomplished. So I do little things when I don't have a lot to do that day, or even just when I feel overwhelmed that there's so much to do. I will add little things on there like brush my teeth, check, showered, check, ate breakfast, check, just because that way I can feel like I have some things accomplished during the day. So anyways, let's go to the yarn advent calendar, box 10. By the way, I learned today, I've been saying the name of the person who did this yarn advent calendar incorrectly. I've been saying Francophile Knits or Phil Knits. It is Francophile, meaning Franco is from Francophile, meaning loving anything related to France, and fille is the French word for girl. And I found that out because she has a podcast, so I started to watch it yesterday. So today's color is Winter Sunrise. And I know that I say all of her colors are beautiful. It's because they are. Look at that, y'all. So subtle, but yet you can still see everything. I love it. So until next time, do what makes your heart sing for me. That's 2 sticks and string. See ya.